To quote the great Larry McCaw, it is time to invade the Glade. Riverglade MX Park Saturday qualifying. Let's get to some bar bagging. Hayden and number 527, that's Gregoire taking care of some business, but Chisholm was all about it in the first moto. Oh, a little interruption. Oh my goodness, who can concentrate on racing out here? Willard obviously can. He's off the track. Hooked by the newcomer, Dubé wins that moto. Oh, there's the golden boy. How about Dusty Clad inside on Colton Fetch? Odie with a great line off the lifter. And Chuck Besley was all about his business in MX1. To the second MX1 qualifier, pair of Susie's out front with Lockhart and Johnson. And who doesn't like the best jump in Canadian motocross? You know, Dubé's lobbing this stuff here with Waugh taking the win. And just in case you hadn't had enough of Dusty Clad, oh my goodness. They call this track Riverglade MX Park, and it's just outside of Moncton, New Brunswick. Welcome to round 7 of the 2006 Canadian Motocross Championships. Mark Travers and Brian Coster. Brian, they talk about the race god smiling. Look at the day we have here today. Bluebird skies, an impressive crowd, and the racing's gonna be spectacular.
Not a cloud in the sky, Mark. 0% chance of rain. You gotta love that. And the Riverglade MX Park crew here has got the place prepped just mint. Watered, graded, tilled. The corners are banked for mega lines. I think we're gonna be in for a spectacular day of racing on this track.
It was great flying in yesterday. The signs everywhere, directions coming up, people talking about it in town. This place is really buzzing about the motocross, and they love when the National comes to town. Speaking of battles on the track, Brian, we got a nice one brewing in MX1 between Clad and Waugh. Let's go get caught up with those points.
In the MX2 East, after 2 of 4 rounds, we are returning after our Western hiatus. Chisholm, a nice lead over Willard, Barnes and Evano, and how about Medallion Galdi duking it out for top Canadian?
To MX1, how about that Waugh battle? Bunch of Canadians below that. We're gonna see some great battling out on the track today, my friends.
All right, race fans, back to the East Coast we are, Riverglade 2006. I'll tell you what, I am so glad to be here. I love this place, the fans, the crowd, the staff and crew have been working hard to get this place going all week long. Let's get right to the track. Just a few little changes. We took the whoops out from last year and added just a bit of a roller double section, bit of a line trace so you can go outside or inside, okay? The next thing we want to talk about, the roost factor here. Rocks, sharp edges, huge coming at you from especially in the MX1 class. Chests are gonna be crying, stuff's gonna be hurting, that's for sure. Next thing you wanna talk about, the ruts. They water this thing, it gets down nice and deep. Ruts are gonna be deep all day long, but at the end of the motos, they're gonna be a little more hard packed, so you gotta watch those guys, be a little bit more conservative on the throttle near the end of the races. The next great thing about Riverglade, I'll tell you what, those jumps. One right here in the middle, one to the side in front of the crowd. Huge air, guys are whipping it, having so much fun. The boys are here always smiling when they come to Riverglade. Everybody's so friendly. It's a great place to be, and I'll tell you what, for you guys at home, you're gonna see some great racing here for 2006 Riverglade.
All right, fabulous, let's invade the Glade with Drop G in the Scott USA helmet cam.
Thanks, Travis. This is just after the finish line. This is the start. Chute comes into this a chicane, and it's high-speed thrills and spills right here. Get on the brakes hard. Get your weight on the outside peg and brap, seat bounce this double, triple arrangement. Ryan Gauld right now at the controls behind amateur Pro-Am rider Brett Cormier right there on the 99 Honda. He's been getting lessons from Galdi all year long and is paying off with some great results. Now Galdi looks like he's got the measure here on the inside. This is where the whoops were that are now kind of a rhythm section. If you time it right, you land right on the downslope. I mean, you really don't lose any time at all. It is the fast way around. Nice third consistency as fast as the bike will go up here. Nice step up, little scrub there. Land, now you've got your option to get to the inside or the outside. Lots of passes here. Guys, clack off this jump. We've seen it time and time again. I'm sure we'll see it this weekend. Few ruts here, but like Galdi was saying, they stay nice and hard. The jump faces are safe. Few bails to build some lines here. Morning practice. Now Galdi goes down the chute, down into this right-hander, kind of off camber. And then this mound, just to kind of screw guys up. Guys step out of those berms, but you got to get lined up right for the big spectator triple. It's a fun jump, and then you angle off of this one. Really cool through the mechanics row. High-speed left-hand berm. The dirt is choice. Up to the finish line. Welcome to River Glade.
All right, let's get this show on the road. Opening ceremonies here at the Glade.
Now here, Johnny, Riverglade, a lot of fans behind you. That's got to add a couple horsepower and fuel your desire a bit, being a local, you know, there's Mitch Cook and you.
Well, a lot of my buddies are coming up, and I already talked to them. They're trying to put them in different places all around the track because, you know, there's nothing better than going. You might get a little tired, or you might be battling with someone, and that crowd behind you really pumps you up and gives you that extra little juice you need to pass somebody or get to the end. So I'm hoping that this crowd can really pump me up this weekend, and hopefully it'll be my advantage.
River Glade MX Park in Moncton, New Brunswick, and this first MX2 moto will be brought to you by MX Performance Magazine. What a day we got here, fabulous blue skies, boys on the line, and rockin' Randy Hall with the Frankenstein 30.
Lots of changes on the starting gate. There used to be asphalt there behind the gate. They tore it all up, and it's a pure dirt start. This is a dangerous high-speed chicane. They're coming in two tracks. The gate is down. Look at that KTM. Michael Willard pulls the whole shot.
Beautiful start for Willard as he gets out front, but look at number 170, Craig Dubé. He's up from the East Coast of the United States. Looked great in this qualifier yesterday, and I saw Chisholm in the mix as well.
Ian Hayden also a great start in that Royal Distributing KTM. KTM's great out of the hole every weekend. And is that Johnny Montez right now slipped into second?
You better believe it, local boy and favorite, number 27, Johnny Montoya with the outside line. But did you see Willard? All the English down into the trees.
Johnny wasn't able to do the jump there, but didn't cost him a whole lot of time on Doobie. Doobie, number 170, so a pair of Cowies there, sitting third and fourth. We've seen great rides from Kyle Chisholm. There he is right there, number 21.
Chisholm didn't get an unbelievable start, but quickly up into third place as he swings by Doobie to the Scott Lockoff cam. A beauty, a little dusty on that takeoff.
And you know, Matt Barnes right there, he is also in the mix, sitting just about fifth. He's challenging Doobie around the outside. Coming up to a step down, Doobie with a great drive. Not backing down, and that's what I like about young Craig Dubé, a New England rider, not afraid to mix it up with these factory boys.
Very creative line for Barnes on the outside. That's a tight turn, Brian. I love the way he carries speed. Oh, Willard around through the chicane. Here comes Johnny Montoya with Chisholm on his heels, Brian. Oh, I love the speed through that part of the track.
I am so stoked for Montez. You can't even believe it. He's from New Brunswick here. Lives right close to Moncton, very close to this track, and he's got the speed. We always talk about his cornering speed, and look at him, just mixing it up with number 21, Kyle Chisholm, and you know, he is a big name in the years. Look at Montez in the corners, love it.
Chisholm on the inside though, Brian, and gets the double package through that rhythm section. You want that inside line, Brian, because you mentioned it, it is faster, and then you go right down into the valley. Chisholm in second.
That has to be one of the best passes I've seen all year, right there. Local boy Fraser gets bumped by other local boy, Julian Boo Green, right there. That is a racing incident, and we get back to number 62, Ian Hayden, and him and Mitch Cook right now having their own little personal private war.
Mitch Cook on the outside, same line that he took to pass Dubé yesterday in the qualifier, working for him coming out of the valley carrying speed.
Cook on a rampage right now, didn't get the greatest start. He won here last year. He's setting a blistering pace. There's Dubé, this is the battle for third, and there is Cook right on that green Kawasaki's back fender.
Matt Barnes has been getting great starts in the MX2 East line. Look at this kid, number 170, Craig Dubé on the inside with a great pass. The guy just outperformed that KTM in the straightaway, pulled him serious.
Oh my goodness, I think he got in the soft stuff. And look at this, Montez down. This isn't good. Those four strokes so difficult to start. And it's not the brands, all brands suffering those starting problems with the four bangers.
Mitch Cook on the inside takes care of Barnes, but Matt Barnes with that outside line again, Brian. Outstanding. Mitch Cook has the measure of him on this track.
Cook is a huge, strong guy, and he can really throw these 250Fs around. It's just like, man, he can pin it everywhere. He likes the big bike, but man, he can really ride this thing well, and he pushes hard.
Let's talk about his effort on this track, too. He really likes this track. Very comfortable here. Did you see the English Dubé had coming out of those tree sections? Now Cook's got the inside line. Coming through that rhythm section, neither of the boys double. Cook is so smooth out here, Brian. Love that guy.
Cook won't be denied. He had his head up, he had his eye on Dubé the whole time, and he just said, man, I'm gonna take you, and he did.
Did you see the gap from first to second 2 shots ago? Willard and Chisholm starting to get together. Here's Ryan Gold with Pico Chamberlain on the inside. Run it down in that corner, Brian.
Ryan there in the middle. left the door wide open for Chamberlain. These two battle hard throughout the whole provincial championship series in Ontario. And you know, they're so close. They always seem to swap wins and swap positions.
Battling with number 215, Blake Hovis as well. Look at 447, that's Evanou on the inside, taking care of Hayden. Back to number 20, Mitch Cook off the floater.
Oh, he looks so good. Back to Willard right now, starting to pull a slight gap. These two on third, Chisholm right there. And this has been the story last year and this between these two riders. And they are in their own war for the championship. And there is a lot of prestige that goes along with that number 1 plate.
Willard and Chisholm very close in speed, Brian. This year, Chisholm just a little smoother with number 50, Tim Tremblay. Very impressive in this MX2 East Series. Look at the gap to first, Brian. There it is.
It is tight. Yeah, Tremblay just passed Hayden, so that puts him up a notch. But right here is where the action is. And I like the way Chisholm there didn't use the berm or the rut. He made his own groove there because the traction's so good and he can really hang it out. Not following the roost here, like Goldie mentioned, is punishing. So you want to be just off. Even 1 foot makes all the difference. And Chisholm's got his head up right now, working some options on Willard. One thing we've seen, Willard doesn't look back. But Willard's been responding well to the pressure this year, though he has had a couple bobbles. He stalled once earlier in the season.
You and I have been talking about Willard and how great his defense is, Brian. He's a very aggressive rider on the track, and he's smooth, yet uses a lot of the track. I love it. Oh, look at that. Beautiful over the double.
Well, Willard works every option out there. There is no question about that. Right now, Chisholm using the same line. It's got to be the best line out there. The moto is still young, so there's a bit of time here. Chisholm showing maturity and patience too this year. A big improvement in his overall riding.
I love the fact that he is not taking the same line, Brian. He is looking for options, and when you're following, you have to do exactly that. Back to Pico and Golds, and they look like they have Bright on the outside. There's number 709, Bright.
Yeah, Bright actually has been a bright spot this year in the series with some inspiring rides. Goldie right now on the outside of Chamberlain. Chamberlain hung up by Bright, opens the door for Goldie. Can he do it? It looks like he can right now. This is huge right now for Ryan Gauld.
They didn't get the drive over the tunnel jump, Brian. You talked about the impedance of Bright on Chamberlain, and look at Gauld on the inside. Bright goes down.
Bright goes down all his own. Looks like he got tangled up with Goldie, but he just stepped out of that rut. And that's all it takes. Slow getting up, though.
Another U.S. privateer up in Canada showing his wares, Brian. I like that Bright kid, number 709. We'll keep our eyes peeled on him. Back to the battle for the lead. It is intense. It's been going on for 3/4 of the moto. Look at number 1. Oh, no, Montoya's is down again.
Oh, this is terrible for him. He had worked up a whole bunch of positions from that first crash, and now he's down again.
Brian, this is the last lap. Our leaders are on patrol here coming into that final corner before the big lifter. Look at those options. Those ruts are huge down there. 2 lines into 1, though.
Willard could not find that breakaway speed in this moto to get away from Chisholm, so he's got the heat the whole race. And I just love that. G out angling over into the mechanics area. What a thrilling spot to watch and a great feeling for the rider.
I thought Chisholm was going to go outside and take that line that we saw before, but he freight trains through, and Willard gets the win in the first moto. What a great race.
Just a small taste of what we got in store for the rest of the races, Travis. That was awesome.
Let's get to the leaderboard. After a beautiful first MX2 moto, I want to go down to 6th with Nick Evanou, Hayden in 7th, Jay Burke with a great ride in 8th, Ryan Gauld in 9th, and Pierce Chamberlain in 10th.
What goes through your mind when you can hear that bike right there? It kind of takes your focus away from the job at hand. You got to kind of block out that noise of the 4th strokes.
Yeah, you know, it's like when you shut off, you can hear them, and then you're kind of like, you don't know how far he is away. So, I just ride smooth, and I could see him out of the corner of my eye in some of the corners, the 180 corners. So I knew that we were about the same speed, so I just kept it at that.
Coming off a terrible ankle injury, Mitch Cook, you're back in full force 3rd place. Looks like you kind of rode smart out there.
Yeah, I didn't have the greatest start, and Willard and Chisholm, like always, got the front pulled away right off the bat, and those guys are so fast. And dude, they have just like little fleas out there. I just couldn't catch them once I got in 3rd, and once I seen how far ahead they were, I just kind of put her in cruise and brought it into 3rd. So.
Hey now, MXP taking care of business. First MX1 moto coming up.
Simon, talk to us a little bit about that crash in Moncton. It was one of the most horrific crashes we've seen in a while. Surprised to see you here.
Yeah, I'm surprised too. Actually, it was pretty brutal, and to be honest, I don't really remember it, but it was definitely a hard crash and a little bit of a concussion. I just rang my belt pretty good and hurt my shoulder, so I took some week off and trying to be healed and in shape for this weekend, and we'll see how it goes on the track.
All right, out west, we lost Darcy Lange. The Richmond Racing boys have had bike troubles all year. Now another shot to the team. Colm Fasciotti goes down on the big triple in practice. Collarbone, I'm hearing some ribs. Out for probably the rest of the year. Tough break for the Richmond Cowboy guys, but again, we got to go racing, boys.
The General J.K. Lee getting the boys all fired up in the premier class, and this moto will be brought to you by Don Joy Knee Bracing. Great time of day, Brian. The track's in great shape, sun's out, great crowd, and Randy Hall has the 30 board up.
Right you are, Travs, right you are. No crashes in the first moto off the start, so let's hope the same here. This is a hugely dangerous high-speed chicane. I frankly love it. It is so thrilling, and it's been like this for many years, so the riders have to deal with it, Travers, and they're off.
Great start for number 9, Dusty Cloud with that Royal Distributing.
What the heck was that, Travers? You need to slip another corner and you need to get that, spit that out. Dusty dusts him off the start, gets that $200 from Royal Distributing. But Kyle Beaton, another BC native, on the big bike in second and looking strong.
Great start for number 19, Ryan Lockhart, and his teammate, number 25, the original Jeff Northrup. First time on the big bike, Brian, as he takes over for Grayson.
Good point, Trash. And you can see Blair Morgan and Mitch Cook right up there. There's John Sebastian. Not the greatest start he's had this year, but right now, NorCal looking threatening on the outside of Lockhart. Oh, look at this action on those 450 RMCs into the corner together. Ryan Lockhart has a lot more experience on this track. Shuts the door on NorCal for now, but for how long?
Through the off-camber, beautiful. Here's the Blackfoot boys. Cook riding his practice bike in this MX1 class, working up on Blair Morgan with Simon Holmans, who had a great start.
Holman's on the all-new aluminum frame YZ 450, looking strong. He's had some great rides this year, coming off those injuries he sustained last week in Moncton. Surprised he's even here, Travers.
Here we are, the battle for third place, a pair of Susies on the Ocean Transport team. Great defense for Salty as he works NorCal wide. I love it.
Ryan Lockhart, third place, the crowd erupting at every corner. Dusty Cloud in control, and look at the gap he has right now on Beaton. Beaton charging hard, Lockhart right there. Love the shot of the boys coming through. Right now, Cook looking a little threatening on Morgan. Imagine that if he could take Morgan on the practice bike.
He has got so many laps in this track, Brian. He's just waiting for a good opportunity. Simon Holman's on the outside looking for NorCal. And there goes Blair Morgan as they funnel through the Scott USA lock-off cab.
You can see Holman's on the outside with all that drive. Morgan right in the middle. Holman's hanging it out right now. Passes Northrup, puts him into fourth. Blair Morgan is in stalking mode as well right now. Taking that alternate outside berm. Sometimes you can get up beside the rider that places you right here on the inside, but just not done this time.
Trying to carry more speed through the off-camber, Brian. I like those options down there. NorCal, very impressive on the big bike. Remember, he broke his collarbone practicing on that bike earlier in the season, with Blair Morgan going on the outside, a little more drive through that little step up. Oh, Beaton's down, Brian. Kyle Beaton is down.
He doesn't lose too many positions, keeps that big 450 running, so we'll see if he can remount and pass some of those guys that got by him. Now, Ryan Lockhart, local hero in here, second place. Look at Holman's on the inside. He looks threatening, and Morgan swapping, and he's just going off the rails right now, trying to catch up.
John Sebastian with a bad start, now getting into the mix. Oh, look at Morgan. He was able to double through. Check the line, you're right, cross running. More aggressive and get that inside line.
Holman's could see him in his peripheral vision and just stepped out of that rut. They didn't touch, but he's just caught him by surprise, I think. Now Blair Morgan in third place. Dusty Cloud way out in front and comfortable, looking over, pulling ahead. A couple seconds a lap right now.
Number 20, Mitch Cook, the fourth MX1 pilot for Blackfoot out here. Oh, Holmans gets chopped up in that exit rut. And did you see those boys come together? There's bar banging on this track today, Brian.
They just clacked right there. They've clacked a few times in their career, and these guys are highly trained professionals. They're pretty comfortable with that tight kind of riding.
Oh, no!
Wah stalls it.
Wah stalls his bike, Brian, coming up and trying to get into that rut on the inside. Stalled her up. He got it going quick, though.
Yeah, 2 kicks and he's gone. But look, Dubé just squirrels by, and now he's got to remount that charge again after the bad start.
Morgan on the inside with that Holman's line as he gets by Lockhart and moves into second place. Blair Morgan is on a charge today, Brian.
What a pass by Blair. A heads-up move, waiting the outside pit. And these guys steer the bikes with their legs more than the handlebars. And look at that, Cook down and right back up, lose a couple spots. Unbelievable. Not going to really hold them back much. We'll see if we can pass some of those guys back.
Lucky to keep it going, though, Brian. He had his hand on the bars, clutch in, kept it running, right back on the pipe as we see number 9, Dusty Cloud, in total control. Wah on the outside of Dubé, moving up a position. Marco Dubé does not look aggressive today. I'm not sure what it is.
Huge fishtail for Dubé right there. I know he's not 100% to terms with that 450 KTM, waiting for the 07 model to come out, which is a totally new bike. Oh, and Homan stalls it, and Cook tags the back end of him. Loses position to NorCal. That is an easy fourth for Jeff Northrup right there on that Suzuki.
There's our leader, number 9, Dusty Klatt, just styling out here, Brian. He looks fantastic on this track.
Poetry in motion from number 9. There's Waugh. He is aggressive now on Homans. And when you get a bad start like Sean did, and then you stall the bike, that just ignites the fire inside. And look at Waugh right now. He is in stalking mode like a panther on the bike, gaining positions every lap. He is in 8th place right now, and he is on a charge.
The battle for 4th. Cook on the outside, number 20, NorCal on the inside. Oh my, did Cook get on the gas early, Brian, and slides by number 25, NorCal.
Wow, he just railed that berm. Looked like a gear up on NorCal. NorCal takes the wide Dubé line, lines him up nicely from the straightaway and hasn't looked back. I think he's kind of content where he is right now. And Dusty Klatt just bonsai right now. No regard for his lead. He just pushes right to the end.
NorCal doubling through the rhythm section with John Sebastian Waugh hot in his heels for 5th place. Waugh looks like he's going to go for the Cook line. Yes, Brian, I like tracks that give you options in the corners to make a pass.
Oh, the traction here is so nice. Now Cook back up after his moments in this moto. He's passing Lockhart for 3rd. Bitter rivals, both local boys, and I tell you, there is no love lost between the Lockhart and the Cook camp.
Blackfoot 1, 2, 3 right now, Brian. There's number 7, Blair Morgan, comfortably in 2nd place. Very impressed with Mitch Cook on the big bike. Now John Sebastian Waugh working up on number 19, the salty dog, Ryan Lockhart, who has some great speed and awesome lines on this track. Let's watch his defense, Brian. He's got the champ hot in his heels.
Well, it'd be nice if Lockhart could defend JSR, but that is a tall order for any rider, especially when JSR is feeling it. And I tell you right now, the way he's riding, he's feeling it. Blair Morgan, though, Travis, hugely impressive this year. I love it.
Ryan Lockhart looking very strong in this moto, Brian. He got a great start, and now he's sitting in 5th place. There's nothing wrong with that.
Nothing at all. Look at that float off that Riverglade triple. A highlight of this racetrack. Cook now is in trouble from JSR, opting for the wide line. Gives the champ the wave by. That is because Cook is not in the points hunt at all. Coming off injuries, Chuck Mesley and Keith Johnson now. Johnson on the number 4 Suzuki, crisscrossing. Oh, Mesley gets stepped off the bike there, almost goes down. And that battle is for 11th with Johnson. Back to the battle for 6th, Dubé and Homans. These two tracks, we have seen them just hammer each other all year.
Getting their last lap flag, Brian. Final stages of this moto. Here is our leader, number 9. Oh, with the big number 1 in the air to this huge crowd here at Riverglade. Coming up and getting his final pit board from Peter Keepin. This guy is on fire. The gap was 3, now it's 6.
The crowd igniting. They love Dusty Klatt. They love their motocross in Moncton, as they should. They shot at the deuce, throwing out the checkers. Tons of action coming up.
Another spectacular crowd here in Moncton with Blair Morgan up on the podium. Let's go to our leaderboard. First MX1 Moto, 4 Blackfoot bikes, top 4 Blackfoot. Then we're going to go to Lockhart, Homans, Dubé, Mason Bilson, a good ride in 8th, and Jeff Northcal in 10th.
Probably one of the champ's toughest motos out there. I gotta ask you, JSR, you're looking a little upset, man. I know you don't want that 3rd spot. The number 1 is where you usually are, but I'll tell you what, man, you fought hard that moto. You got a lot of mistakes.
Yeah, thanks, Ryan. It's just, I don't know, bad start, and that's the thing I can't do. I have to get a good start all the time to run with Dusty, and you can tell Dusty's race was easy. He had it easy. He got a whole shot and pull away. So start very, very important here in Moncton, and the Honda pulled hard. Our bikes are super fast, but it's hard to get a good start. It's hard to keep the front end down, and I think I wheeled a little much off the start, but I was able to make up some point, but still 3rd's not enough.
Ryan, you were up in the top 3 for a while. That was probably your best race in terms of confidence building. I noticed you got a little tight there at the end. How'd you feel?
I felt really good. I got a good start finally. I've been waiting for that for a while, and like you said, I got a little tight about halfway through. I was stayed in the top 3 for a while. I'm not used to being up there, and I finished strong in 5th. Nobody was really around me. Cook was just right in front of me. So, I'm looking forward to the 2nd moto and hopefully put it on the podium.
Time for a little freestyle, East Coast style. The band is Kid Gibb, and the track is all for you. Crank it up and enjoy.
I mean, I do everything on my own. My folks aren't there. I have sponsors that help me out and stuff like that. I got a long list of guys that help me, but I drive to the races on my own. I sleep in my van. I do everything on my own, and I just kind of like it that way. With the less pressure that I seem to put on myself and have from people in my crew and stuff, the better racing I do. So, I mean, yeah, you know, you look at me, I'm maybe not your usual physical shaped motocross guy, but you know, I was born to ride a bike. I came out of the womb and that was it. I was ready to go on bikes, and that's what I'm here to do now. You know, I've figured it out that biking is what I'm supposed to be doing, and it's really, for some reason, you know, when I was 19 and had that factory red, I threw it away, and now I got it back, and I seem to be enjoying it more and have a lot more respect for it.
Go team, go! I love mayonnaise!
Welcome back to Riverglade MX Park, just outside of Moncton, New Brunswick. Second MX2 moto boys are on the line. Rockin' Randy Hall has got that 30 board up, and this moto will be brought to you by MSR Motocross Apparel. Oh, we got a great day here, Brian, and the people have been funneling in. A huge crowd today at Riverglade.
Absolutely, nice little breeze just to keep things cool. A great day for motocross racing tracks. They are going to 5. They are lined up. Number 1, 21, and Chamberlain all in a little group. Willard, can he do it again?
Looks like number 26, Matt Barnes, is going to get that Royal Distributing Hall shot.
He sure does, in fine style. 57, Tyler Medaglia right up into second. We got Evan O'Cook right there.
Fabs, look at that 3-pack of KTMs going 5, 6, 7. That's Willard, Montez, and Hayden.
Off to a great start. No sign of Goldie. Him and Medaglia are in the hunt for top Canadian honors. Evano with that step seat on that YZ250F right in there on the Simon Holman's racing bike.
He's got some heavy pressure from Mitch Cook, who loves that section of the track. Didn't do the double, had that outside line. But look at Tyler Medaglia. There it is, working that corner. You see the way the line's Y into 1 through there, Brian.
Absolutely, the track's starting to get a bit rougher now for the second moto. Some nasty braking bumps and acceleration bumps starting to form, but traction is primo. You can see the roost right there from Evano as he skittered right across the track to that shiny stuff underneath.
Opposite lines for Evanu. Medaglia up top. Evanu on the inside, makes the pass, moves into second. Oh, and here comes Mitch Cook. Did you see the way that Medaglia got caught up in that loose stuff on the outside?
I don't even understand how Cook makes his passes. He doesn't really seem to have a lot of setup. He just bangs them off so quickly, so easily. He's just such a strong rider on the bike. It's just awesome to watch.
You want to talk about a rider comfortable on a home track or a track that he rides a lot. Mitch Cook knows the lines already here. He knows the dirt. Here's a little bobble off the start. It looks like Goldie right there got in the mix. Oh, and Kevin Gregoire goes down hard.
Oh, there's a heap right there. Goldie already gone, though, so he didn't really stall it, but he lost a ton of positions right there. He got hung up on the inside and was laying down. So we'll see a charge from him. Back to the front of the pack. Yet another Royal Distributing hole shot for Barnes. Then Evano. There's Cook and there's Willard. Right line. Oh no! Cook goes down. Willard goes over his bike. Just tags. Cook's front wheel goes down too. I wonder if either of these guys got the bike running. Looks like Willard does. He's up and away. He lost maybe 4 or 5 positions. And Tim Trombley just slips by. So some easy positions for him, Travs.
There's our leader, number 26, Matt Barnes. We've got Evano in second place, squaring out on that berm. There's number 21, Kyle Chisholm in third place. Tyler Medaglia picking up where he left off. That's great. Oh, and number 27, Montez goes down again. He had a good start.
Just low slides it there on the inside, trying so hard. Back to Evano. Love that kid's style. He really rides the front of the bike, and the back end does a lot of dancing around. That's his thing. Back to the lead, and it is Evano pressuring Matt Barnes. Matt Barnes sweeping the outside there in the powdery stuff. Just keeps it wick through there.
Carrying a lot of speed. There's the number 1 of Willard back on the track. Looks like he likes the Barnes line. And number 50, Tim Trombley. You said it, Brian, having a great start.
Ultra impressive this year, young Tim Trombley. Very tall, lanky rider. We've watched him progress through the years. This is his year. And there's Evano riding the front, just squirreling around, going for the lead, man. This is an intense battle we're witnessing right here in Moncton. And super high speed down that chute into that lifter, into this FMF sweeper. I don't know, it's anyone's game right here, Travis, and you can see the shiny bits on the track. It's starting to get a little burned out in there.
Into the off camera. Oh, he just about went off his bike trying to carry speed through that rough, Brian. Oh my goodness. He is trying everything, and you're right. Very aggressive on the motorcycle, riding it to its limits.
Some fantastic recovery right there for Evano. Not flustered too bad. To the battle for 4th, Tyler Medaglia looks good right now. Willard recovered after his fall with Cook in 5th.
Number 26, Matt Barnes in the lead. Look at this. Number 21, Kyle Chisholm has made it up on this lead package to make it a 3-pack.
He has covered a lot of ground on these laps. Willard, the danger man right now for Medaglia. Always aggressive, showing sheer determination, and makes that pass it up 4th. His head is down, and I tell you, Willard, man, he is a dangerous man on the track.
Did you see Willard look back after he made the pass? I love that kind of confidence to the lead. Barnes under heavy pressure from Evano.
He sure is. And Evano, we saw him last time trying this corner on the inside, and he does it again with a bonsai maneuver. Clips our lock-off cam, moves into the lead. This is the first time I think we've seen Evano out front.
And Kyle Chisholm got great jump off of the lifter there, Brian, and moved into second place.
Good point, Trav. So Barnes goes from first to third. Here's the replay. Up over the lifter, we can see on the outskirts there, it is Chisholm right on that inside rut. Barnes off for the nicer soil and the straight drive. You can see Evano turning right up the face of the jump to make that pass. So a real balls-out move for Evano.
Number 447, Nick Evano in the lead. Look at Kyle Chisholm on the outside, Brian. There are options down into the valley, and he gets the drive coming out of the tree.
He made that pass coming into the turn, into that powder. He can hit that powder way faster. Both riders opting for the outside of the split course. Moto winding down. I think they're getting a bit tired here, Trav. And look at this battle of KTM.
Number 1 coming up on number 26, Barnes. This is for third place. I love the drive that Barnes had out of that corner, even though Willard had the inside line.
I think Barnes' mind is getting to him here. He looked over. Did he give him the wave by there?
No, he looked right at him and watched him go by.
Well, I tell you, in the first one, he was cutting Michael right off to the edge of the track, so I don't think there's any team orders there whatsoever.
Well, he might have let him by as we get to number 46, Trevor Hall, who is all about it today, and he's got Brad Lamb on his heels.
He looks great in that red gear. Another one of the machine racing riders, and he's teamed up with Galdi and Nestle. So back to Willard in third place, catching up on Evano. Oh, and a big stuff. Willard just stuffed himself, stalled the bike.
Willard has had his problems in this moto, Brian. He's already been down a couple times, now a stall. He's got to make his way back up on Evano for third.
Every point is so important right now for Willard because he's got the deficit, which is, and look at the air off of there. Semi-seat bounce on that. What a thrilling spectacle this track provides. And Evano under trouble. Look at this, the same corner. He's trying the outside in the crossover track. Evano looks back. Never a good sign to look back. This is awesome. You can see Willard scrub there off that little step down.
Willard made up a lot of ground after the stall, Brian. Oh my, on the inside, the KTM pulling by the Simon Holman's Racing Yamaha and Evano. What a great pass.
Willard has got the bit between his teeth. Now, Medallia goes wide, loses a little bit of time.
Oh, no.
What is going on with Willard? Looks like he's making some adjustments. The bike is running. Do not stall it, Michael. Oh my, these points are so precious for the championship. And look at Chisholm right now in cruise control.
Number 21, Kyle Chisholm on his final approach. He's on his last lap. Look at this, Brian. Matt Barnes is in third place. Michael Willard on the outside. Barnesy with the Evano line. Oh, and a little bit of a chop off there. Very interesting.
Shows him right to the edge of the track. That is for the final podium spot. Here comes Chisholm. He's coming in. High five with Ron Bushy, his mechanic.
Love it.
Love that camaraderie between rider and mechanic. That is a tight relationship.
Thinking about the championship, Brian, here, a great win. He gets the overall for the day, going 2-1. Kyle Chisholm. Oh my, this is for third place, Brian. Barnes in the outside. Oh, Willard cuts to the inside. Does he have third? Oh, he loses traction, and Barnes is going to take third place.
What a gallant effort by Michael Willard. Barnes looks over. They're not even high-fiving each other. I don't want to be under the tent after this moto. So Chisholm wins it. Evano, great ride in second, his best yet. Tremblay, super impressive, as was Jay Burke.
I think Michael crashed a few times, and he has nothing to lose though. He's out there going for it, which is good for him. But just trying to ride smart, for the championship.
I wish I wouldn't had all those mess ups like Gopher. We had a DNF there, and then the first moto at St. Julie, we had an oil line break. So little things like that. I think I would be right there with Kyle and Willard in the points right now. But just little things like that just tend to mess me up a little bit. So
yeah, it's kind of difficult when it comes to a team thing, but you're out there and you do race by yourself and you're for yourself. So I kind of did. I kind of let him by the first time, but then the second time I kind of just held him off a little bit. But I was going for the third overall too. So
what an intense final MX2 moto. MX1 boys lining up, and there's the jam. He talked to us a little bit about the mental aspect, and like you said, your brain takes over. Sometimes riders overthink the situation, and it's a detriment to them.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, one of my hard things I have a hard time with is I'm kind of what if, like, well, okay, I'm going to do this jump, but what if I don't do it? And just always doubting myself, and you're only as good as your mind lets you believe that you are. And so that's one of the hard things, when you got 40 other guys you got to race, you got to tell yourself you're better than them, and you have to really, really believe it, or you never have a shot at beating them in the first place.
All right, guys, big news. The official word is number 7. Blair Morgan got docked 5 positions in the first moto for jumping on a yellow. That puts JSR into second, now 4, only leaving 6 points between him and Dusty going into this second moto. Another thing I want to touch on, that puts Mitch Cook into 3rd, and Ryan Lockhart, the local boys, 3rd and 4th from that first moto. Keep an eye on the crowd, guys, because those guys get some starts. It's going to go crazy here in Riverglade.
Oh, great update from GG Boys. We get back to Rockin' Randy Hall with the 30 board up. This second MX1 moto will be brought to you by Answer Racing. Ryan, tough break for Blair Morgan, although he's still comfortable in 3rd, even with that docking.
Absolutely. That has to hurt between the motos thinking about that, but those are the rules, and Blair Morgan knows that, so I think he's pretty good with it. The gate is down fast. He's going to get that run starting shot.
Oh, my. Salty dog, number 19, Ryan Lockhart with the original NorCal. Oh, my. Did you see that big saucing right there?
Oh, did Klatt ever take a face full of roost? And did you see NorCal? I thought he had it, but he had to back off because Lockhart was coming on like a locomotive. So local boy out front right now, a pair of Suzuki's. And how about Beaton? What a day off the gate for him.
He's a great starter, light guy on a big bike. I love the way that outside line coming in the chicane forces that inside guy to chop that throttle. And look at that, Beaton just passed Klatt with the double.
You can see how that option line worked for Beaton. Right there in front of us, the inside is my favorite line there. But as the day gets rougher, the entrance is a little trickier, so Klatt opting for that smoother outside line, loses position.
Number 220, Mason Phillips with a great start as we get to the Scott MX lockoff cam. John Sebastian also up into the mix. Dusty Klatt now working up on NorCal, the original. There's that double line package with Klatt on the inside as he blows by NorCal.
Klatt is just poetry in motion. The way he flows on the motorcycle. Even when he hits something wrong, he turns it into something right. Unbelievable. Uses every bump on the track to his advantage. Look at him now. He's got Lockhart in his crosshairs.
The throttle response from Dusty Klatt is incredible. He gets it when he wants it, just twists it, and the bike goes places like that one right there. A stab on the inside. Lockhart has to be feeling the pressure, Brian. Let's hope he doesn't tighten up. He just relaxes. Oh, coming up, getting some pit boards. Watch the lines, Brian. Salty dog, very defensive. There's that crisscross from Klatt, and he makes the pass and is in the lead.
Well, I don't know how long Ryan could have held him off. Klatt is just on fire this season. This is the best position Ryan Lockhart's been in this year. And look at that roost factor out there. That stuff is just primo.
With the speed of these racers, Brian, you got to give it a great start. Here's that saucing off the top. Oh my, did he get blasted with roost from Lockhart.
Yeah, that's a replay of the start where Lockhart had the whole shot. Just filled Dusty right in. Dusty now takes a peek. Here's the pass. Cuts right over. Fishtails the back end around. Puts himself right in front of Ryan. Ryan kind of got a little hung up there. What a great pass. Dusty Klatt, man. What can we say about this kid? He is upsetting the champ.
Kyle Beaton under pressure from 2 Blackfoot boys. A little bit of contact with the champ. Oh, and the champ goes inside and says, no way, not today, Beats.
That is the riding I like to see from the champ. Aggressive and cutting guys off. The champ has got to get physical out there. We can see Dusty Klatt shaking his goggles there in front of his mechanic. He has definitely got some issues. I bet you that's from that total pelting by Lockhart off the start.
Number 25, Ocean Transport, Jeff Northorn, under heavy siege from number 1, John Sebastian Waugh, getting caught up in that loose stuff off to the side, Brian.
Love the way Waugh's riding right now. I'd like to see him bang a few bars out there. There's that inside line. The pass works for Blair Morgan. Why I like that line is because you land right on the downside. You can get right on the gas, one less bounce, and we know those bounces are critical. Mitch Cook looks like his bike is cacked out. He's just buttering off the side of the track. What a shame.
Oh, there's number 11, Keith R. Johnson going down in that tricky section. Grabbed a handful of 450 YZ throttle and dumped her. Oh, look at that, back to John Sebastian Waugh as he goes by NorCal on the inside, Brian. I still like that inside line through the off-camber.
Waugh showing his might out on this Riverglade track, up into 3rd position right now. Back to our leader, Dusty Klatt in that Blue Fox gear. Staying low off the little booter there. Look at the braking bumps, and he misses them totally. And he can find good lines.
Brian, he's goggleless right now. Just a word of note there, he has got his goggles off as Blair Morgan gets by number 25, NorCal, with a great inside line off the lifter, and he gets himself up into 4th place.
Unbelievable fast. You can see Blair on the outside, finding those smooth lines. It's all about finding the smooth lines. There's Waugh working his magic, gets a little stifled on his drive there. He's got to remount that charge.
Much better corner first speed for a while. Late in the season, Brian, he seems to be becoming more comfortable on that big bike with Marco Dubé going inside on number 6, Simon Holmans.
That's a great point, Travs. He was on a 250 for those 5 championships, and that's a 2-stroke. Now on that big 4-banger, and he's getting dialed in with every race. Gets by Ryan Lockhart on the outside, and that is that smoother outside line.
I don't think we've seen him going as fast as he can or will go on that bike with more time on it. All through the lifter. What a great shot. Number 45, Chuck Mesley, working up on number 24, Marco Dubé. These guys know how to bang bars. They've been doing it for years.
Mesley didn't get the greatest start. He's made a lot of passes in this moto. Blair Morgan has Lockhart in his sights and just pulls the trigger on the clutch around that corner. And man, these 4-strokes hook up good. I don't want to be Lockhart right now. Look at the inside line. Just a total burp shot, but it's not over yet. Lockhart's got the speed coming off the jump. Drag racing down that high-speed straightaway up to the FMF corner. Oh, and it's Blair Morgan right now in third, so Blackfoot 1, 2, 3.
Who's not impressed with Lockhart this year? The guy's up into the top 10. He's been waiting his whole career to do it, and now he's battling with the front runners. He belongs up there. Number 9, Dusty Klatt, looking great in first place.
You got that right. Lockhart, a bona fide MX1 rider. Back to Chuck Mesley. Oh, Chuck Mesley, aggressive on Marco Dubé. He had the low slider. He was going to tag the back of Dubé's bike right there. Oh, Chuck Mesley cannot buy a break out here on the East Coast.
Really hustling hard out there. That's what I like about it. Number 220, Mason Phillips. That New Zealand privateer goes inside on NorCal with a great pass. That inside line, Brian, worked for Morgan. Now it's working for Phillips.
Lines are forming beautifully on this Moncton track. Passing, not a problem at all. Look at that powder. Look at Dusty just serving it up. Wow, actually, he's caught up a lot of ground, about 5-6 seconds back.
You got to believe that the roost on this track, or even riding the track without goggles, has got to be tough for Klatt right now, out in the lead. Look at this, a pair of Suzies, the Ocean Transport team. We've got Johnson on the inside, NorCal hanging tough. How can you not be impressed with NorCal today, first time on the big bike?
That's a great point, but there's his teammate. Oh, and he gets kind of hung up in those tall, deep ruts, drags a foot peg, but now Johnson takes control of the position. NorCal not laying down. There's NorCal up the inside. I think Johnson thought he had him beaten, kind of relaxed a second, but no.
What was with the look back on that one? I don't understand what's going on there. Number 220, Mason Phillips, now working up on Ryan Lockhart for 4th place. This kid's come out of nowhere, Brian, and he's turning some heads today. Look at that double inside line. Lapper trouble for Lockhart, and Mason Phillips gets 4th.
Man, that is definitely the line. And Phillips actually came up short, still bounced it, and still made the pass on Ryan. So I don't know if Ryan's got a problem, maybe getting tired or clutch slipping. You never know what's going on out there. Blair Morgan now, all alone in 3rd place and looking good. Got to get back to your point on Dusty Klatt without goggles. That is absolutely punishing to race on this track. There's dust, there's roost, there's lappers. Dusty Klatt, this whole race with no goggles. And I tell you, at these speeds, your eyes will tear everything. So the Klatt is the man right now.
And wearing contacts too, Brian. It's almost impossible to race with no goggles and contacts, but he's doing it. Here he comes and takes the checkered flag with a big clean sweep here, laying down some East Coast smack.
Nice and loud.
Oh, beautiful roll, distributing whole shot package up on the stage. Leaderboard, 2nd MX1 Moto, Klatt, Waugh, Morgan, Phillips, Lockhart, Dubé, Northup, Holmans, and Shire.
Unbelievable for that guy. The dirtiest I've ever seen his bike, actually. Something happened on the first lap. I gotta ask him what's going on. I see him reach for his goggles, and then all of a sudden they're gone. Dusty, what the heck happened with the goggles?
I just ended up getting dirt under him, and you know, there's bouncing around is kind of annoying me, and I knew it was gonna be tough. I had to pull him off though, but you know, I just had to squint the whole moto. You know, I felt definitely could have went a bit better if I didn't have, well, if I had some goggles on. You know, all the dust and stuff out there is kind of making my eyes kind of bad. So
you've been doing this a long time. How do you keep yourself motivated coming back all the time, dude? You've been on this circuit for a long time, winning championships. Now you're right back up at the front again, just like you were when you were a kid again.
Yeah, no, it's been a long time. You know, I've been kind of thinking about that lately, and you know, back when we used to battle back in the 90s, so it's like 10 years ago now, so it's pretty crazy.
Here's where they stack up in the MX2 East after 3 or 4 rounds. Let's make our way down to 7th. Tyler Medaglia looking good. Ian Hayden in 8th. Pierce Chamberlain in 9th. And Marc-Antoine Genereux in 10th.
After 7 of 9 in MX1, the Blackfoot trio dominate. Holmans, Dubé looking good. With Land, Joe, Fasciati out, and Graysick out, it opens the door for the rest of the field. I want to thank you all for joining us here in Moncton, the Riverglade Raceway. Special thanks to the Deuce, Earl Descent, and Larry Northrup for putting on a spectacular weekend.
You have been watching the 2006 Canadian Motocross Championships, brought to you by Motovan.com, Canada's source for power sports parts and accessories. Royal Distributing, Canada's power sports leader. And Kodiak Boots. For Brian Costa, Ryan Gold, I am Mark Travers. Oh my goodness. See ya.